Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Revival League Season 2 Open Qualifiers. We are here with round 2 this time, so now this is all teams have played already. Now they're coming back to play even more games against each other. It's mostly teams that haven't played against each other in round 1, now playing in round 2. Currently, we have Retired for a Reason coming up against EKO ESPORTS. They are the 5th and 6th place team. They both won their games the other day when they played. Retired for a Reason had a... Oh, no, never mind. That's the next game. Sorry. I don't actually remember the scores of these two games. Actually, EKO Esports won 7-5 yesterday. If you were there in the stream, they won against Team Hilux. So, yeah, this will be very, very interesting. It's Theme Park, which is one of these teams' worst maps. I'm not going to say which one because I don't actually remember. Happy told me before the game, but I don't remember which one. So we're just going to roll with it. It's okay. It's EKO's worst map. Thank you, Happy. It's EKO's worst map. So that's actually going to be really, really interesting because they won 7-5 on Oregon yesterday against Hilux. And I really want to know how they come up here. I don't think I've actually introduced myself, but I'm Retro, and we are underway with the bans. Jackal has already been banned by EKO, followed by the Izami ban from them as well, and then Osa and Solis coming up from Retired for a Reason. Very, very interesting bans all around. Jackal is really the only one that surprises me out of all of these ones, mainly because he doesn't get banned that much in competitive. He still has a pretty high ban rate, and especially in Revival, he was one of the most banned operators in the previous season, but he's still not something that you really go out with right away, and it's really, really interesting to see that on Theme Park. Of course, you can do with and without him on the board, even if you're roaming heavily. It's just that obviously it's a lot easier without him. The Izami ban makes complete and total sense. She's very, very strong, sort of generally in the game, but she's really, really strong on Theme Park. If we could have a look at the top of Dragon and that little 90 corner right underneath the cam, that is where she is the strongest, because until you clear out that Izami, which she typically will have all of those Kivas deployed around there on this 90 corner or even further down to Dragon, maybe even covering over Cash. Until you've cleared that out, you cannot push anything. And that goes for pretty much every single site, I think, apart from Lab, on this map. So to not have her on the board is really, really good. And there goes immediately a kill. I think that was a spawn peek or a run out from ECAP onto Maiko. That was a spawn peek from the top of Dragon window. And that is a really, really good opening pick here for EKO Esports. Vogue looking for another attempt at a spawn peek as well from the lower teller's window. Will rotate away, and I think that ECAP is still down there inside of lockers waiting for somebody else to cross his path, which really could be problematic if somebody does choose to go this way. But I do think that all of the attackers have already made their way up to the roof on the southern side of the map and will not be crossing him. I don't even know how to pronounce that. The Nook is coming up the up the arcade stairs, and she could be causing trouble, especially because she cannot be seen on those cameras. She's made her way inside of the lab, where she could be waiting for somebody's rotation. Perhaps ECAP could be getting caught here by her if he's not careful. Playing a little bit of ring around the rosy. The Jaeger will survive for now. 90 seconds have gone. I'm not sure how much setup the attackers have, and it's going to be even less now that the Jaeger does hear the Nook push up those stairs and gets the kill. 3 versus 5. All 3 attackers are trying to push into Cafe and into top arcade. ECAP on very, very low HP is still contesting onto these angles. Candelas are coming out, so he cannot swing even further or attack more. There goes ADHD with a swing and a kill onto the Jaeger. Finally, the refrag after he already picked up 2 kills. More gunshots coming out from Charlie onto Vogue, and there goes down the Warden. So now the Ying will be able to do a lot more damage to the defenders with just less than a minute to go. And they do still have their hard breacher as well as those impact EMPs in the pocket of the Dokebi, so they will be able to open up these walls from yellow and maybe try to go for a push. 30 seconds to go. They have very limited information. They still have 3 drones, but I think that all of those are watching flanks and aren't able to be utilized right now. Pixel with the swing does get the kill. He will be peeking out onto, or from the vault extension. ADHD makes his way inside of sight, gets 1, gets 2. That's a 3K for ADHD. All down to Pixel inside of vault. Can't do anything. It's Nelson with the final kill. Retired for a reason. Take the first round. That is interesting. Apparently, we're gonna have to have a rehost, or at least EKO are calling for one. Or not EKO. It's actually it's retired for a reason. Are calling for a rehost. Yep, we'll be having a rehost. Do we stay live or do we go on a break? Off. Oh, okay. We'll be back shortly as soon as we can. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
I pressed return to menu and it's just doing nothing. Well, guess I have to close it. Hodgson? Just a cheeky little rehouse as you do. Yep. The lobby refused to let me leave. Right to alt F4 the game. Kind of silly. No. Wait, who won? I've actually forgot. No, it's attackers. And the bands were Jackal, Orza, Solis's army. Gotta be awkward and forces it to a rehost though. They won the attack as well, and they're complaining that it's it's stuttering. Jesus. We're about to go again. Ready, ready, there we go. Three, two, one, you're on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Retired for a Reason versus EKO ESPORTS. We apologize again for the technical difficulties that we had. We had to do a little rehost. Retired for a Reason, we're complaining of stuttering with the game. But we're back now. They did end up winning that round. If you missed it, or if maybe you don't remember because it's now been a minute, it started out with a spawn peek from ECAP onto I'm not sure exactly which player that was. I don't remember. But started out with a spawn peek, and then the Nook pushed up the arcade stairs, also died. And then all of a sudden, Retired for a Reason just went in guns blazing, took out all of them. It was a 1 versus 3 for Pixel inside of Vault. Couldn't do anything. They picked up the round, and now EKO Esports are having to go back to the same site to try and defend it. Before the spawn peek happened, I was discussing the bans, and then I was interrupted by the action that was happening. So I'll just reiterate what I was saying. Basically, you could do with or without Jackal on this map. It's just obviously it's a lot easier when he's not on the map. Azami, very, very strong. She makes most sites on this map pretty much unattackable until you've gotten rid of her at the top of a dragon, where you can see the camera pointing at right now. And then the Solus and the Osa bands are really interesting. Also, of course, can be very, very strong. Here goes another spawn peek. Charlie J taking a lot of damage, not able to pick up the kill this time. Is ECAP. He will be pushing away. Or is H-Up? I don't know. Again, moving straight back to the lockers to try and find somebody there, but I think the same as last time. Retired for a Reason will be going upstairs, or not upstairs, but up to the roof via different means, and will not actually be crossing ECAP's path for the time being. But yeah, to finish up the rest of the bands, the most interesting one is actually the Solus band, because EKO Esports absolutely decimated Hilux yesterday with that Solus pick. Hilux took a risk by not banning her against them, and paid for it dearly. ECAP this time in an engagement against Hudson, the Nook inside of barrels already. He was there before. Did not capitalize off of being in there undetected, and ECAP heard him when he was pushing up the stairs and got the kill. Little over a minute has already gone, and they're having to waste a lot of this utility trying to clear out some of these mute jammers and trying to drone out the cafe area as well as the rest of the map. But they are confident that they can make do with just the one. Oh, wow! Oh, okay, I was just about to say, Hudson trying to go for some of these vertical grenades just happens to, ACAP just happens to walk in at the wrong time, and it's Hudson to win that gunfight. Now in a 4 versus 5 minute left to go. EKO ESPORTS are in a pretty good position to still defend this. Retired for a reason, although they have the map control over the second floor west side, they still have quite a bit to do. And with all of these cross angles set up in place by EKO ESPORTS, it's not going to be that easy. However, it's Hudson, the Nook, that's coming up the Dragon Stairs. Pixel with a peek through the yellow corridor, gets one, but there we go. Hudson coming in, getting one. ADHD on the other side gets one as well. Psych picks up one as Enjoy Your Life goes down 2. There goes a C4. Psych picks up one more. It's Maiko to push in, straight in, get the kill. Pixel peeking up from the vault, gets one. Now it's a 1v1. 25 seconds left to go for Maiko. He does not have the diffuser in hand. Trying to go for a Hail Mary. A grenade. It's not going to do anything, but that shot will. Nice shot from Maiko to get that kill. Put another round on the board for Retired for a reason. I mean, not much that I can say about this. Both of these teams, of course, they won the games that they played so far, and they both played really, really good Siege. But I think what's happening right now, and I think what we're going to be seeing throughout most of round 2, for at least while we're looking at that sort of top half of the teams coming up against each other. So, you know, first and second, and then third and fourth, fifth and sixth, which is what we're watching right now, and I think even seventh and eighth. What we're going to be seeing from them is just a clash of two really good teams coming up against each other. And, you know, it's just the survival of the fittest there, because I don't think either of these teams are really making any mistakes. I think the only mistake that I could possibly credit to EKO is the fact that they are getting aggressive and they are getting those early picks, but they aren't able to capitalize off of it. Now, I say that because they went into it with a 5-3 lead in the previous round, or in the first round, and they just weren't able to get the win despite that. And even now, they had 30 seconds to go, and it was pretty much even numbers. Letting the Nook push up the Dragon Stairs, I think, is really what lost them the game, or lost them the round. Sorry. So I think just maybe getting a little bit less aggressive. But what I do like seeing from both of these teams is they are there for the trades. Every single time that somebody dies, the trade is immediately there. Save for the Retired for a reason at the beginning of the game and in the first round when they lost 2 teammates and they weren't able to get the trade immediately, but they did get it eventually. ECAP again chancing a spawn peek. He absolutely would have had maybe even 2 people there if he had peeked a little bit sooner. Peeking anyway. Charlie, despite knowing that that was happening, does take quite a lot of damage. That was the Ying almost gone, and that would have made this take so much harder to actually achieve. Psych, very, very aggressive. Typically, you'll see the Cade being inside of sight, trying to maybe even Cade trick that wall, but instead, he's just shallow roaming, and is almost the only person on site. I think that's only Enjoy Your Life that is actually in sight. There goes a C4 rip from ECAP, does not pick up anything and just retreats straight back onto top of Dragon. That control hatch will be opened up as well to try and flush him out, but he is safe here for the time being. He hears somebody pushing up to the cash balcony as well. He does have Vogue support too, right down there, and I think it'll be Hudson that will be pushing up there. Pixel with the kill onto ADHDG, and I'm not even really sure where that happened. That was a really, really good pick right off the bat. Hudson trying to chase ECAP. They do have some things on his position. ECAP is aware of where he is, and it's ECAP to pick up the kill, taking a little bit of damage. I'm not sure if that was ADHD or Hutchinson just missing the headshot there, or if that was somebody else, but it was not enough to get the kill, and it's EKO Esports with the advantage again. That advantage will only increase as ECAP gets Charlie J, and now it's all down to Nelson and Maiko. I think that they're both pretty spread apart, trying to do something here. Nelson taking a little bit of damage from the Gong side, and through the Dragon Wall, Maiko does get the kill onto Pixel. They will be trying to open up this wall. There goes the drop from ECAP. He does get shut down through that same wall. Oh, but Nelson kills himself with the thermite exothermic charge, leaving Maiko all to his own in a 1 versus 3.
15 seconds remaining.
This is going to be really tough. There's all of those cross angles. Wow, that was kind of cinematic. You can see all of those bullet tracers coming up from all 3 of those players at the same time. Unfortunately, Maiko stood no chance unless he somehow managed to flick onto all of them within within a second. But unfortunately, that was not the case, and as we head into round 4, EKO Esports finally put a round on the board for themselves, which it's really interesting to see that one of the most defender-sided maps in the game, where often you'll have it run all the way into overtime, just because not a single team can win a round on attack. It'll be 6-0 in one half and then 6-0 in the other, and then it's just a matter of who gets the funds on in overtime. So I find it peculiar they're retired for a reason of won 2 rounds on attack, and against all odds. They had the man disadvantage, and they still were able to pull it off. So that's really something. It's one for the books for sure.
10 seconds to insertion.
Anyway, EKO Esports will be going back upstairs from the defense. This time, they are not going to try and hold on to office initiation, which they lost twice before. They will be instead moving over into daycare and bunks. Quite an interesting setup. Of course, this is, I think, one of the most versatile sites where a lot of teams play it a lot differently. Some like to reinforce the initiation bunks wall. Some teams love to leave it soft and have some head holes. They have prepped the spawn peaks, but so far I don't see anybody going for them. Just a very heavy roam presence coming out from EKO Esports, which is sort of the theme of the game for them. ECAP did take a little bit of damage, and I'm not sure if that was from a spawn peak attempt gone wrong, or if that was something else. But Hudson already inside of lockers, which ironic that the one time that ECAP is not inside of lockers is the one time when Hudson pushes in. And I think that we could be having our first engagement here between Hudson and ECAP, who's down below playing inside of barrels, or on that side anyway, and Hudson is trying to push up yellow stairs. So they could be in an engagement here. You can see through the walls, like they're very close to each other. There goes the first engagement. I called it wrong. It's Maiko with the kill onto the mirror of Pixel. That was a really, really nice pre-fire. Or maybe the mirror got shot open, and he was able to get the kill. In either case, really, really well done. And I was like, having to protect this side of the map. There goes the engagement between ECAP and Hudson that I called earlier. It just came a little bit later than I anticipated. ECAP picks up Hudson. There goes Enjoy Your Life with a kill onto Maiko. It's an instant trade. He does see somebody pushing into bathroom, and he does have Enjoy Your Life with the shotgun swinging onto that bathroom player. Gets the kill, gets the drone. Vogue taking a little bit of damage. Charlie J and Nelson all to themselves in a 2 versus 4. Still having a mirror window to contest against, and very, very little map control, if any, really. Having to attack with less than 45 seconds on the clock. Charlie J throwing out some of these smokes, as is Nelson, to try and block up these mirror windows. There go the Candelas, but it's ECAP to push into Cash Room to get that kill. Smoke babes are getting deployed as well, and Vogue swings the mirror window, gets the kill onto Nelson. and EKO Esports put another round on the board. Really not much to say. I don't think that either team have really changed anything about what they're doing. They're just doing the same old, and it seems to be working out for EKO Esports now finally after they lost the first 2 rounds. But now because they won the initiation, or because they won daycare and bunks as well as throne room, they are having to go back to initiation and office, of course, because the other 2 sites are locked out for this round.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being used by attackers.
Obviously, they could also go into lab and drugs, but I don't think that that's a very common site for a lot of teams. That's definitely, sort of a last resort site. I think a lot of teams probably have a strat for it. It's just not something that they bring unless they are either up by enough to where they feel confident that they, even if they, for example, they're up 5-0, they're like, okay, let's play lab. Screw it. Even if we lose this 1 round, it's fine. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Or it's like overtime and they want to bring something new that's going to, take the other team by surprise. But it's a risk because if you don't win that defense, then it could really be problematic. And that is a really cheeky spawn peek right there. Pixel on top of this window. I've died to this, and it's definitely one of the most annoying things in Siege. Because, it shouldn't be possible. It doesn't capitalize anything off of that.
Window barricaded!
I do not believe that he was detected. You do not get detected up on top of there. I think you have to, really extend far to get detected. Oh. Oh, is that actually a free round?
Drone up and running.
Okay, well, the round will be forfeited because that was an illegal spawn peek attempt. I don't really. It's not a runout. It's not a spawn peek. ECAP gets the kill onto Hudson. They have a pulse below inside of lab, but again, this round will be forfeited from the side of EKO, regardless of the score. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that it matters whether it affected the round or not. So wait, Javi, is it gonna be forfeited or no?
No.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Apparently it's not gonna be forfeited. I think that most of the teams are probably, or most of the players are a little bit confused about what the actual outcome will be, or at least I was. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of kills have come out. Enjoy left peeks up into the yellow stairs. Now in a 3v3, a lot of these walls are getting opened up. It's pretty good pacing from Retired for a reason, despite all of the confusion coming out about the illegal spawn peek.
A bomb has been located.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, but it's I think it's per league rules. Okay, there you go. If you're reading the chat, that will be a warning for EKO, so they cannot do that again, or any other illegal peek, whether it gains an advantage or not. EKO pushing up into fall will get shot down by Enjoy Your Life, who was waiting for that push, and that wall is actually not open. I'm not sure if the impact tricked it or K tricked it. Charlie J pushing up to the wall, taking a little bit of damage from the electrification, will get shot down from inside a bathroom. Nelson picks up 1. It's effectively a 1 versus 2. He knows there's 1 in cash. Can't do anything as there's not enough time, and EKO Esports win the round. Yeah, I think that was just a bit of a confusing round. I do apologize for the lack of actual information there given by myself. I just got a little bit confused about what the actual ruling was going to be. In any case, EKO take the lead finally in this matchup. You would think that they would have taken the lead a lot sooner, just from the fact that it's a very defender-sided map. Theme Park is one of the most defender-sided maps in all of Siege, and that by extension is even more so and competitive and stands true within Revival as well. And now they will be going straight back down to Throne and Armory, which they won off the back of ECAP and Vogue just being menaces on Throne and picking up the kills. That way, it came down to a 1 versus 3 for EKO, who's playing Iana at the time and just wasn't able to capitalize anything off of that. I do believe that was a bit of a misclick, because I was going to say that is not a really good cam from ECAP there, but that's a pretty good one. And again, just being very, very aggressive, going for these spawn peaks again. Luckily for Retired for a Reason, they did not spawn on that side of the map. They will be going for a teacups spawn for the entire team. And could be challenging onto ECAP here now through lockers. I think they might be trying to go for a bit of a yellow push rather than trying to go for either maintenance or barrels, which is the sort of default push. ECAP makes his way inside of the locker room, and I think that we could have some engagements here coming out. ECAP does fall away safely. And as do the attackers who make their way up onto the roof or the balcony, wherever they need to be. The next engagement's coming out here from Vogue at the top of Dragon stairs, just holding on and waiting for them to push either into cash or into control room, or even straight into Dragon itself. Vogue with the kill onto Charlie, who was trying to contest ECAP within bathroom. There goes the Yana. I don't think that either of those grenades had been used at that point, so a little bit of utility there has been lost should they need it, and they just might. Of course, having the nades in the hands of the Yana the last time that they were attacking this site is what allowed them to open up the wall when it was just a 2 versus 4. Oh, ADHD game. Gene pushes up into initiation, gets the kill onto ECAP, and now they are able to hack those cams should they choose to. Vogue an engagement against Nelson, and it's a C4 over top of the wall to get the kill onto Nelson. They still have hard recharges in the pocket of Maiko, but that's really not what they want to be using for that wall, at least not primarily. Hudson using those ash charges to do a little bit of vertical destruction, and it's Pixel who's made his way inside of Bunks, who could be causing trouble here if he does not get spotted out, which so far he has not been. Maiko swings the hatch and dies to Pixel, who's still inside of Bunks. He knows he doesn't have to move. 20 seconds left to go. ADHD Gene picks up 1. Hudson joins him at the lower floor. Those Malusi Banshees will be giving them away. They're going to have to try and pick up the refuser within maintenance. Fred Part now going to try and do a split push, but it's not much they can do as Pixel picks up 1. He picks up the second one as well. EKO Esports take a 4-2 lead in the first half as we see the side switch. And I guess now we're going to have to see what Retired for a Reason are made of on defense. But more importantly, I wonder how EKO Esports are going to play because of how aggressive they've been so far and the fact that they are going for those spawn peaks and everything like that. It's just going to be very interesting to see whether they go for a straight head-on rush from the lineup that they are bringing right now. I don't think that that's something that we're going to be seeing. Just because it's a very standard lineup with the Thatcher and the Thermite and then Diana and the Kebi. So it's not something that you really that you would really see in a rush. But again, if that retake is a thing and they might just decide, let's rush, which could cause trouble for Retired for a Reason if they're not prepared for that. They will be going to Bunks and Daycare first for their first defensive round. It is a round that they lost attempting to attack, so it'll be. I'm excited to see whether they win it or not. And see, this is exactly what I was saying, is that this is a very, very versatile site for a lot of teams, where some teams like to reinforce any of those poor walls in that corner. Some teams like to put a shield there. Some teams like to put a shield inside of initiation to hold on for a push from there. Some teams just put head holes in that wall and a shield inside of initiation. Some teams put footholes in the daycare walls. So it's a very, very versatile site, and it's a site where you see the most variation per team, or I guess per league, because every team will have their own little thing. A lot of other sites, and for example, Throne, will be very, very linear. It's going to be basically the same hold for most teams and the same attack for most teams, but initiation is where really, or not initiation, apologize, the bunks and daycare site will be the one where teams vary the most, and I think that the first engagement will be coming out here from the player who's playing instead of Vault. It's ADHD Gene, who calls on cams just a little bit ago, which, if he'd gotten swung, could have caught him off guard. I don't know if they droned or not, but Vogue just puts it straight in. Doesn't even look towards Vault. Dies. And ADHD Gene is still trying to contest, as is Maiko, who's right there. That was quite a bit of a misplay there from EKO Esports. I'm not sure if they hadn't droned it, or if Evoke misunderstood the call, or what was going on. But that was basically a free pick there from Retire for a Reason. There goes another one. ADHD Gene picking up a kill onto ECAP. I think he was trying to push into the waiting area. The wall will get opened up, and all guns are pointing toward different members of Retired for a Reason. Two of them are pushing into office. Meanwhile, Pixel has made his way inside of Control, through the wall, gets one. Enjoy Your Life and Psych pick up a couple more on the other end of the map, and suddenly the lead that ADHD had gained for the side of Retired Esports, or for Retired for a Reason, has dwindled away quite a bit. I don't think the Hudson is aware of the fact that the Dokkaebi is in the same room, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much, and the Dokkaebi is being shot through the wall, as he's now left in a 1 versus 1, or in 1 versus 2. It's from a very, very far away angle that ADHD Gene gets another kill. I think that's a 3 or 4 kills for ADHD Gene in that round alone, keeping that advantage alive for Retired for a Reason, when it was looking like EKO Esports could be taking over once they brought it down to a 3 versus 3. Going down to Throne and Armory now that they've won that site. Interestingly, not bringing any wall denial. Not bringing a Cade or a Bandit.
Attackers need
Which
to locate and
tells
defuse
me
the
that they're going to try and prevent the walls getting opened up with bullets. With bullets and their life. Which is a pretty common strategy. Especially in comp, and especially when Thatch is on the board. It's like, at that point, a lot of teams just don't see it worthwhile to try and Cade trick the wall or Bandit trick the wall, especially with how destructible the walls are above the reinforcements, where teams can just keep tossing grenades or capital bolts or anything like that, and then that puts the Bandit or the Cade at risk, and then, you know, you could end up losing a player and then also not even keep the wall closed. So it's just not worth it. They will be doing quite an extensive roam, which could seriously help them prevent EKO Esports from being able to do anything, because of course, for as long as they have that top row control, it's going to be harder for EKO Esports to really do anything, to push anywhere. And see, that position right there where the Wamai is playing, that is exactly the position that I was talking about with the Azami. This position is already really strong with really any operator. I think the Wamai and the Azami are probably the strongest operators in this position. And they're both equally strong there, except I think Azami is just sort of immovable from where she is. It is Vogue and EKO trying to challenge onto the Wamahide playing inside of that position, but they so far will not be getting active on it. I think that was Vogue trying to rotate up the roof somewhere, but drops straight back down. And any jump in either through this window or a push through the cash door could result in death for either of these players. Now, they could go for a simultaneous push, but just because of the nature of the map, just because of the nature of the building, really, one will jump in the window, sort of before the other gets through the door, and Charlie J will get the pick onto Enjoy Your Life. That's the thermite gone. I think he swung over the door, or maybe he was all the way inside of Vault. I'm not actually sure, but actually no, yeah, he was in sight. Not Vault, sorry, I meant Gong. But no, he was in sight. He pushed straight out, got the kill onto the thermite. I think when he was in the process of placing down the extra thermite charge, which I believe is what he pushed in the first place. And now Hudson has pulled away from the position that he was playing, but look at how much time he's wasted. That's 2 minutes gone for the side of EKO Esports. They do not have their hard reacher left to be able to get these walls open, but they will be able to get some of these picks as ECAP takes the head off Charlie J. That's the smoke, so a lot of that time wasting will be eliminated. Pixel dying to Maiko, who was pushing down these yellow stairs, and it was a bit of a ring around the rosy, but ECAP pushes straight in, gets the kill onto Nelson, immediately shot down by Hudson. Maiko picks up another, it's all down to Vogue. The Iana drops the hatch, and it's ADHD Gene from inside of Throne to get the final kill. Put another round on the board for Tired for a Reason, and we are tied for a piece as we head into round 9. There goes a timeout from EKO Esports. Oh, I got a little bit confused because Hudson said pause and then it was a timeout, but it was a different team that called the timeout and a different team that called the pause. So it just sort of coincided at the perfect time for both of these teams. Yeah, EKO Esports definitely understand why they are bringing out the. Oh wow! Look at the kill spread, 784 and then 785 on the other side. I definitely understand why EKO Esports are bringing out a timeout right now. They've lost 2 rounds in a row. They are attacking, but Retire for a Reason won 2 attacking rounds. So EKO Esports are probably getting a little bit, are in a bit of a frenzy right now, because if they don't start winning rounds and Retire for a Reason end up sweeping the half, well then EKO Esports doesn't really stand a chance. Probably just discussed about what went wrong. And there we go. That's what I like to see. Retire for a Reason are locking in and going to lab and storage. I could not tell you how excited I am about this. It's going to be great. I really want to see what they bring out. We saw EKO Esports play here. It was not the site, but they were playing here. They had a pulse and some C4s. Retire for a Reason, despite playing the site, actually are not bringing C4s, or they are bringing C4s, but they're not bringing a pulse. Although they are only bringing 1 C4, which is quite interesting. Teams do love to bring quite a lot of C4s when they're playing this site, just because if you waste enough time on the roam and then you start chucking those from below, well, that could get really, really troublesome for the attackers. But they're doing quite an extended roam. They're going to be holding almost all of top floor, which is really what you need, because if you see all of those wooden floors, all of those are destructible, and that means that almost the entire ceiling of the site is destructible, which just makes pretty much every single position unplayable. And it makes retakes that much harder. If they manage to get the plant and you're still on the roam, they try to rotate back the site, you're gonna have to clear them from top floor, get every single kill that you can from top floor, and make sure that they can't kill you while you're trying to defuse. And we do see that EKO Esports are bringing a sledge. They brought the IQ, I think, probably either to counter the Valkyrie or maybe because they expected the pulse. Oh no, it's Nelson looking the wrong way, and ECAP just pushes straight up to the wall, gets the kill. Vogue taking a lot of damage. Oh, I think that was a vertical angle. It was either a vertical angle from below or it was ADHD Gene. Oh, Pixel drops the hatch, gets the kill onto ADHD Gene. 3 versus 5, and not enough time wasted from... Oh, there goes the C4 rip from Hudson. Does a lot of... What? It didn't do any damage, but it made it look like it did. Okay, so Pixel doesn't take any damage. ECAP picking up another kill onto Maiko, and now Vogue and Pixel both on low HP, but still alive and kicking. Hudson will be running outside of the map or outside of the site and trying to rotate, trying to do something. They have information about some of these attackers to maybe try and go for a flank. That camera will be shot out as, of course, it's the IQ spotting out all of the utility that has been laid out on this side of the map, and now the attackers are slowly starting to push downstairs, droning out everything, making sure that they spot out those frost traps as well. So Charlie J might not have that much of an advantage, but Hudson, completely unbeknownst to him, was spotted through those holes. Charlie J with the kill onto ECAP. That is the player that was waiting for Hudson. Charlie J with another, holding down the fort all by himself inside of sight as Hudson is still trying to rotate. And now Vogue and Pixel are both on low HP, so they are very, very vulnerable in this situation. Enjoy your life. The Habana, the only player with more than about 30 HP. There goes a nade rip, and oh, it gets swallowed by the ADS. That is really, really good for Charlie J, who does still have this shield in place as well. Oh no, Hudson gets shot down as Vogue pushes straight into sight.
15 seconds left.
They will be attacking Charlie J here in a
10
second.
seconds to go.
Oh, that. Oh, okay. So Vogue picks up the final kill as well. I got a little bit confused because Hudson was on top of the frost mat, but he got shot and then he laid where the frost trap was. For a moment, I thought that he died to the frost trap, and I was very confused as to how that was even possible. I thought, oh, maybe they had a Brava that I completely missed. But even if they did, Brava can't hack frost traps. So that was just really, really good positioning there for Hudson to confuse me completely. But yeah, that was one of the sites that... I mean, this is going to make me sound really stupid, but that's one of the sites that you either win or you lose. And by that I mean that, you know, either you have like a really, really strong setup that teams just cannot attack onto, or you just get decimated. And I think that the Retire for a Reason probably had a pretty okay setup there. It was just that they had too low numbers. I think if Hudson was able to stay alive and the clock was dwindling down and they were having to just sort of bum rush the side as they couldn't push Charlie J on that shield, they could really only push the bathroom and the storage doors, or the lab doors. But yeah, Hudson did die, and there was not much Charlie could do in a 1 versus 3. But the new attack is commencing. As Retired for a Reason go back to Bunks and Daycare, the first site that they played and the site that they won, EKO Esports turning a new leaf as they win the first round after their timeout. Hudson with a C4 pre-ripped is just waiting for somebody to either drop the hatch or walk straight into control and get annihilated by that C4. And we do see Vogue on top of the Dragon Stairs just waiting. Actually, I don't think that's Vogue. Who is that? There's somebody on top of Dragon Stairs just waiting for anybody to push them. That would be ECAP, who looked like Nook from a bird's eye view. In any case, droning out everything, trying to see what they really have to deal with here against Retired for a Reason. Trying to spot out as much of this utility and trying to clear it. Now, interestingly, this time they only have the one set of grenades, so that could be a bit of an issue. But Vogue pushes straight in, gets the kill onto Nelson on the other end of the map. It'll be Hudson who will be in the next engagement here against ECAP, and Hudson swings over the top of the control table, gets the kill onto ECAP with the shotgun, and we equalize the man count yet again. They're trying to burn some of this utility, some of those Jaeger ADSs. Micah with the swing gets Vogue right before the shield is gone, pulls away. I don't know that they're aware of the players playing inside a cafe already. Pixel with one, Charlie with a refrag right away. Retired for a reason, still keeping the advantage to their name in a 3 versus 2, a minute left to go. Enjoy Your Life and Pixel have to try really hard to try and get this round open. There goes Charlie J with another smoke bait deployed, locking Enjoy Your Life in the position that he's playing. There goes Pixel with the kill onto Charlie J, the player playing inside of the site, and they are aware of another player playing inside of Vault, so Pixel will be holding onto this angle for a little bit, looks away at just the wrong moment, looks back, but unfortunately he's not able to pick up the kill, and ADHD Gene picks them both up as they line up. Oh, that is really, really unfortunate lineup there. And there goes Retire for a Reason, picking up another kill, and as we tie again at 5 apiece, I can confidently say that we'll be seeing all 12 rounds of regulation. Now, that might be 6-6. We might equalize it again, or whichever team gets to match point first could just finish it all in regulation. And it's going to be really, really fun seeing which team is actually able to pick up that round first. And I do think that the odds are stacked against EKO Esports in this situation, just because of the site that they are having to attack onto. This is one of the strongest sites on the map, if not in the game. It is really tough to attack this site. Very rarely will teams lose this. And I think that most of the time when that round, where that site is lost by the defense, it is more so due to the roamers dying and leaving the site sort of empty with only 2 people on, rather than the attackers doing something good, or, you know, getting that wall open quickly and then being able to go for a plant really quickly. That is also another way the teams win that site on attack, but typically it goes very, very much in favor of the defense. So it'll be interesting to see whether EKO Esports pull out a win on this round. As so far they are 1 for 2 on round wins since their timeout. He kept opening up the wall, tried to shoot the camera without having to expose himself to the yellow corridor. Quite a lot of roaming presence. Hudson holding on to this position again. We saw him pretty much decimate the team last time around, and I think that's Pixel lagging a little bit on that Dragon balcony. I don't think he's aware. I don't think Hudson is aware of the presence of the Iana on top of the balcony. The wall will get opened up pretty quickly on. There goes the jump in through the window. Hudson had to have heard that, but he didn't, and he gets shot down. Pixel has to be aware of another player inside of control room. He is not. That is ADHD Gene, who's prone inside of control room and could be going for a swing any second now, or he could be playing this really, really patiently and just waiting to get swung, but he does get the swing. There goes the kill. Volk immediately with the free frag, and now they've made their way inside of sight. Enjoy Your Life will be going for a plant behind the throne. Maika with the kill onto Volk, but the plant will be going down unless ADHD Gene can make his way over there in time. He cannot. Enjoy Your Life thrones on the diffuser. ADHD Gene predicts that. And now Psych and ECAP have to try and win this post plant. ECAP with the kill from up top. All down to ECAP as he makes his way inside. He makes his way inside of sight. But, oh, that was so unfortunate because he could just barely see the back of the Valkyrie behind the throne. It was like, it's a lot easier for us to see that with the outlines, of course, but he could just barely see a little bit of her. It was enough to get the kill, for sure. But he just, well, I don't know if he would have had time because that was like a split second. It was like a half a second from maybe a second from when he was able to see her to when the diffuser diffused. So
Attackers need to locate.
yeah, that was really really unfortunate there for ECAP. He was just not able to get that clutch and retired for a reason, as predicted. Although it got a lot closer than it should have. Retired for a reason. Do pick up the round, put themselves on match point, and this could all be over here. Or EKO Esports, who did win this site before, could just equalize. And I don't know what we're gonna see. I don't know what's gonna happen. Who knows? But retired for a reason are going straight back to labs and storage, and I think that this time they're gonna try and play it a little bit more passive rather than being so aggressive in the way that they play. But also just try to not lose Nelson on the wall pretty much immediately because he was looking the wrong way. I think that really hurt them, having that man disadvantage right off the bat. Was really really not good, and I think that you can definitely see the difference in pace for both of these teams and how differently EKO play on attack versus the defense, because I genuinely expected them to be very aggressive, to be going for rushes, Ying plants, Lion, Dokebi, everything, but they are not doing that, and I think the Hudson will be going for a C4. It will not catch ECAP, but it will let him know that he is playing inside of Throne Room.
Scanning for electronics.
ECAP, of course, the Valkyrie is able to spot out any of these cameras, any of this utility that's there. The rest of the attackers are trying to push up into cash room and trying to push there as well as into cafe, which again, same as last time, top floor control is essential. Enjoy Your Life getting very, very aggressive up to where he's playing on top of these yellow stairs, but Nelson, despite peeking onto him, does not spot him. It's Charlie J to suffer because of it. And there goes the prediction. ADHD correctly predicts where he's going to push into next. Gets the kill onto Enjoy Your Life. Equalizes the man count yet again at 4-4. And now the next engagement coming out from Voke and Psych onto Maiko. It's Maiko to pick up the pixel, to pick up the kill onto Pixel. Psych, meanwhile, rotates around to initiation. Maiko picks up another one onto ECAP. Looks the other way to wait for Psych, and he walks straight into his bullets. Vogue does pick up one as the reload animation keeps him stuck from being able to do anything. It's all down to Vogue now in a 1 versus 3 with 30 seconds left to go to try and not only win this round, but to try and keep his team alive within this matchup. If he loses this, we go home. Well, we don't actually go home. We still have another game later on. But Vogue, his position now given away by the Malusi Banshee.
15 seconds
ADHD Gene following up behind him. He's walking into sight. He's doing a little bit of pot shots onto the Valkyrie. Is not enough. ADHD Gene pushing up behind. Gets the kill. Finishes the round and finishes the game. Retired for a reason. Win this matchup 7-5. Now, for a team for whom this is the worst map, EKO really didn't do that badly. I think they were playing a little bit too aggressively in the first half, and they were not able to capitalize off of that a lot of the time. But yeah, it was just a good attempt from EKO. They won 7-5 yesterday, and now they lost 7-5. Again, can't say that either team did really anything wrong, and I think that this is something that we're just, as I already said, this is something that we're going to be seeing with these teams in the top half of the leaderboard, is that they're just going to be playing really good Siege, and it's going to be up to whether you can win the games or not. which it sounds really stupid when you really look down. It's going to be, very marginal differences, and I think we're going to see a lot of these 7-5 games, at least between these teams. I don't think we're going to be seeing too many 7-1s or 7-2s or even 7-0s, or at least that's my expectation. It might end up being different. If I had to give, which I do, I have to give MVP to somebody. I think that would probably be Maiko. Even though him and ADHD Gene both had equal kill counts, I still think that Maiko he was stuck in sort of 1vx's more often, and was just had to clutch up quite a bit. And he did do it quite a few times, so that was sort of the sole reason of why his team won. But he was also just getting in there, getting under the skin of EKO Esports, and I think if anybody was going to take it, I'd say it was probably going to be Maiko. But that finishes this game off. Stay tuned because we will be back in about 30 minutes with the next game. It will be between Ardor Esports and Hoax. That's going to be a really, really interesting matchup because that is the first place team and the second place team. Hoax 7-0'd yesterday and Ardor 7-1'd on Monday. So it's just going to be a pretty crazy matchup between these two teams. I think we're probably looking at overtime. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about half hour. Stay tuned. We'll be back.